Hey folks, it's Jared Mannanen from the website TahoeTrailGuide.com. Another 7 inches of snow last night. Very exciting. Even more in the higher elevations. I was hoping though that my little practice hill would have been fine for doing some downhill work today, but I gave it 2 tries and then that was it. There's like a layer of groppily, sticky, rotten snow underneath this new snow, and this new snow is actually pretty heavy. There's a high moisture content in it, so just not super fun on that low angle with slow snow basically. So I'm gonna go do a tour instead. I apologize for not having more videos out this month. I just kind of been working a lot, been driving a lot, been skiing a lot. This last weekend I was up in Tahoe Donner cross country. I did a couple of clinics for my personal ski growth. I did a classic cross country ski clinic with Glenn Jobe, a former Winter Olympian. He was a biathlete in the 1980 Winter Olympics. Super amazing classic skier. So I took that, and then Saturday I was in a skate ski lesson with Martin Bennis, who's the former U.S. National Paralympic coach. And that was super great as well, doing some downhill and cornering technique on skate skis, more for like race oriented stuff versus, you know, off trail backcountry cross country skiing, but still all applicable to being on cross country skis. Also, I've been prepping for my level 3 certification by gathering a bunch of footage of me skiing so that I can do a self-analysis and turn that in, as well as some mock lessons to people, videotaping myself teaching. And yeah, I have to assemble all that in the next week or two to turn that in so that it's in the hands of the examiners well before my test, which will be in March. Kind of toward the end of March. And yeah, just working at Kirkwood is about a 45-minute one-way drive. Working up at Tahoe Donner is an hour and a half, so I've been spending a lot of time in my car as well. I've also been out there grinding for birds still. I'm up to 84 species. I finally got a semi-rare bird for the region, Barrow's goldeneye. It's waterfowl. There's a female hanging around the South Shore for the last couple of weeks, and I finally, after about 4 or 5 tries, saw it, so I was able to count it. So that's good, but it has been pretty quiet as far as birding goes. Not a whole lot of new species by many people, just kind of what we've all been finding. Everyone's just taking their turn finding it now, and that's fine because this thing lasts a whole year and I gotta pace myself. I did want to mention an article that I'm planning to write in the near future for Tahoe Trail Guide. Is just about the benefits and kind of reasons why we should take continued education. And as I mentioned, this weekend I was doing a couple of personal growth cross-country ski clinics. So for my own skills, like increasing my skills as a skier, becoming a better skier. Not just learning to ski better, but also becoming a better skier overall. And that entails a lot more than just technique. It's also planning, route planning, strategy for dealing with certain terrain, knowing how to switch up the technique or the tempo while you're skiing to accommodate different angles of terrain, different qualities of snow. So yeah, that importance of incorporating continued education into your program is like, you're not going to get better if you don't. And YouTube videos, as I've said before, I watch them a lot too, and I make them obviously, and I encourage you to keep watching them, but also going out one-on-one with a person, with a coach, with a ski instructor to develop your skills is kind of beneficial. And I understand that not everyone is close to a groomed resort with a staff of instructors available, but if you have the opportunity, if you're out on vacation, or even if you just made a dedicated trip out to a place that did have clinics, workshops, private lessons, group lessons, like, do it. It's only going to make you a better skier. I also had the opportunity yesterday to work with one of the local Nordic team coaching staff, which sounds really official. Our middle school coaching staff is essentially volunteers. A lot of the moms that basically have kids in the program and they want some tools to teach their kids to ski better. So there was about 6 of us out there yesterday, and I was doing a skate ski clinic for them, and that was super fun. It was very, very exciting to watch them as enthusiastic and athletic. They had good skills to begin with, so just running through a set of drills with them so that they can take that back to their kids is super fun. But you know, that's kind of the thing. Nordic skiing a lot of times doesn't have major funding, so coaches aren't paid very well, it's not commensurate, let's put it that way. For as much work as they put into those programs, they usually don't get financially compensated. So this was really nice that we were able to comp them gear, trail passes, and a lesson with me, basically, to support those teams. And that was, yeah, just really fun. Just really fun working with people that want to learn and that want to get better. So I was grateful for that. Yeah, this is just kind of an update, I guess. I've just been, feels like I'm not catching up with anything. I haven't produced much new stuff. I apologize for that, but you know, sometimes it's just good to get out there and ski for yourself instead of always making videos. But I will say part of that learning experience for myself is watching myself ski in these videos. So even though I'm filming specifically for that level 3 certification, I'm always analyzing my movement whenever I'm making these videos and seeing what I can improve on. So if you have a GoPro or if you have somebody that you ski with, definitely film yourself on occasion to see how your technique is going, because it's invaluable. You know, the camera doesn't lie. At least if you don't edit it, it doesn't lie. And I do a lot of editing. As always, like, subscribe, comment. Thanks for all your support. Appreciate all the questions everyone's still been asking me. I'm glad that a lot of my videos, regardless of when I've published them, i.e. a couple of years ago, are still relevant to a lot of people. So I'm glad I could still be of service to you and help you on your journey of cross-country skiing and snowshoeing. Take care, everyone.